According to reports, Anthony Joshua is now more likely to fight in early 2023 rather than in December. And again, the names that we're hearing are Chris Arreola and Otto Wallin. Neither of those would have been my first choice if I was involved in managing Anthony Joshua. Neither of those would have been my first choice for his comeback opponent. As I've said in previous videos, I think he needs a real knockover job. Just like Deontay Wilder had against Helenius. Helenius was dangerous, yes. But this, in terms of, he had punching power. But this is a guy that he was familiar with from sparring. This is a guy who is friendly with. And this is a guy who's very vulnerable, Robert Helenius. Knocked out badly by Gerald Washington, of all people, and also Johan Duopa. So it was great matchmaking by Team Wilder. With AJ, Arreola is a tough guy who is coming off that very good performance against Andy Ruiz where he dropped him. I'm not sure if he's fought since. I don't think he has. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Otto Wallin, who is an awkward southpaw. So although AJ has the ability to beat both of these guys, it's well within his capabilities in my estimation. I don't see these as fighters who are going to, allow AJ to have a highlight reel knockout and allow him to feel like a destroyer again. And I think that's what AJ needs. He needs some confidence builders. I don't think these fights serve very well as confidence builders. Otto Wallin in particular is an awkward guy to get to. So I don't see AJ running through him, producing a spectacular knockout. I think he's going to have problems in that fight. And it's going to just leave him with more doubts in his mind. Same situation with Arreola potentially, because Areola's tough. AJ's going to need to box and pick him off over a number of rounds. Will he be able to get him out of there? That remains to be seen. If Arreola comes in as motivated as he was for that Andy Ruiz fight, then, AJ could be tested. So, I just find this to be really odd matchmaking and indicative of Hearn or whoever is behind it not really understanding the process that a fighter like Anthony Joshua needs to go through in order to rebuild his confidence. They just don't get it. The promoters and managers, etc., of fighters like Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, as I've already mentioned in recent times, Deontay Wilder, they got it. When Lennox Lewis came back after getting knocked out by Oliver McCall, they didn't throw him in there with anyone that had a remote chance of beating him. They gave him Lionel Butler, who is an overweight, out of shape journeyman. That's who they gave him. Yeah, he could punch a bit, but he was no great shakes. That's the opponent they chose for Lewis's first comeback fight. When Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas, they didn't throw him in there with any person that had a remote chance of beating him or even being competitive against him. They gave him Henry Tillman, an absolute knockover job. That's what AJ needs. And I know a lot of fans will be frustrated by that. I know they'll start talking about business and there's no way they can sell an AJ pay-per-view if he's going in there against a Gerald Washington or a Tom Schwartz, because those are the two opponents I suggested. Yeah, I get that. I get that some fans will be disappointed and it might not work in terms of pay-per-view. But what is the priority here? AJ has to think about this. What is the priority? Is it, milking Anthony Joshua for as much money as possible? Or is it trying to actually get the best out of him as a fighter? Develop him and allow him to maximize his potential as a fighter, maximize his ability. What's the priority here? At the end of the day, if you allow him to build back up correctly and, sort his mind out the right way, then you're going to make more money from him in the long term anyway. So unless you really don't believe in him, then you should be doing the latter, in my view, going for the long haul, not short-term monetary gain, trying to rush him back in. As soon as we can get him into a big fight, let's put him in there with Arreola and some tough opponents. And then, no, I think this is a real mistake by Team Joshua if they're going to pick either of these fighters. Again, not to say that he can't beat them, but I don't see those fights giving him the confidence that he needs moving forward. I repeat myself, a lot of fans just don't understand why it's necessary for a fighter who's suffering from these confidence issues to have knockover jobs. Well, go down to your local boxing club, get in the ring, and start boxing for yourself. And then maybe in a couple years, you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. You'll get it then. When you go in there and you hit a guy on the chin and he's on the floor, you can't describe that feeling to someone who hasn't experienced it. So go and experience it for yourself before you dismiss what I'm saying. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high quality MP3. We've also got an Element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, it's decentralized, and it's 100% censorship free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment. You can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.